Greetings, family and friends. All praises to the Most High. I'm not giving a lesson today. I just wanted to take time out to to say thank you to all those subscribers and to let you know how much I appreciate you. And I wanted to talk about a few things concerning the book that we teach from. It's it's weird and funny how all these teachers out there are teaching from a lot of different books, but they only got little bits and pieces. So they have to create their own thoughts and opinions to be able to what they call interpret what they read. The problem with those books, and I was one of them, but the problem with those books is that they don't give you all the information and it's not detailed. And it wasn't until I discovered the Cepher that I really discovered the Torah. And then I discovered a lot more. But before I get into that, I just wanted to tell all you guys I really appreciate you so much. And I want to thank you for your support. Those of you that subscribe to this channel, I promise you I will never bring anything more or less than what the true scriptures say. Now, the trouble with reading from books like the King James, NIV, and all the others, I mean, there's so many of them, is that they don't really give you any detailed information. So you're forced to have to come up with what makes reasonable sense. That's not a good thing. Everything you need to know was written beforehand, but the nations hid them. And we all know that. And that's what it's hard for me to understand how so many people know that and still have trouble believing and realizing that not only did they have a reason to hide it, but the fact that they did hide it is because they don't want you to know. The Cepher is full of information. I mean, it is detailed. And I'm going to give y'all a few examples of things that you won't find in any of those Bibles that you read. And before I go there, let me tell you something. Have you ever wondered about the word Bible? Let me tell you what it really stands for. Biblical instructions before leaving earth. Israel, those that are chosen, those that are going to the kingdom, they're not leaving earth. So who's leaving earth? The heathens, the nations. So that's what they named the New Testament. Biblical instructions before leaving earth. Israel is not leaving earth. Those that are going into the kingdom, they're not leaving earth. Now, those that will refuse to accept the truth, they are going to leave right along with the heathens. But let me give you with this one main example. You will never find in any of the books that you read who wrote the Cepher, who wrote the Torah, and where was it written. Enoch wrote the Cepher, and let me show it to you. This is the book of Jubilees, chapter 4 and verse 23. Listen to what it says. And he was taken from amongst the children of men, and we, the angels, conducted him into the Garden of Eden in majesty and honor, And behold, there he writes down the condemnation and judgment of the world, and all the wickedness of the children of men. You'll never see that in those books that we were permitted to read. And where was Enoch? In the Garden of Eden. Now we know why all the nations made a pact that none of them shall ever go and try to claim territory in the Antarctica, because that's where the Garden of Eden is. That's why they can't go in there. That's why they made that pact. They can go all around the edges of it, but they can't go in, because the Most High had guarded that, right? It was guarded, and it's still guarded to that date, to this day. But it's things like that that you need to know. That's important. Another example: Moses' wife's dad imprisoned him in his home for 10 years. They never told you that. They never told you that even as a child, Moses knew who his parents were. Moses knew who he was. But the way they told us, Moses didn't know that he was Hebrew until after, right around the time he killed this Egyptian. You see how they uh, manipulate the books, the Bible, not this book. And then you have those people out there that will tell you, don't read that book. It's the devil's book. Wow. Well, I haven't found nothing in this book that even remotely sounds like the devil. Everything in this book that I have found so far has been a blessing to me, my wife, and those others who listen to this book. That's why they hid this book. That's why you can't even pull up. You know how you can go online and you can pull up the King James online and you can go through all the pages and read all the scriptures. You can't do it with this one. You try to go online and find this book. You're not going to find it. You will find this book for sale, but you won't find the pages of this book like you can all the others, because it's slowly coming out of hiding. They don't want you to see what's in here. And like I said, I'm not doing a lesson today. I just wanted to let you guys know how much I appreciated your moral support. And thank you for subscribing to this channel. Oh, and let me mention, the next lesson that we're working on now is the feast days. Now that we know how to find the right and true Sabbath, we can now find all the feast days. So we don't have to guess if we're celebrating the right day or not. And be careful with these teachers out there. Just because they sound good does not mean they are good. I have been seeing so many errors in these teachers. And it's so amazing that as many followers that they have, none of them can see. None of them can see the errors, the lies, the misrepresentations. They can't see any of it. But I guess when you think about it, the Most High says that only a few is going to make it. So I would love to see the few that's on this channel be in that number. All praises to the Most High, and thank you, family.